You're joking.
Nah. Nope. Sadly, nope. He's deceased.
You're joking.
He is deceased. Rest in peace to CK, man. My condolences to his family, his wife, his kids, and his friends. This, yeah.
Well,
Still cannot believe he left this earth, bro. Still can't believe this, bro. Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro. Tragic, traumatic, appalling,
I don't know.
terrible, hateable, odious. All of these things. All of these negative words. Shameful what
Well,
befell this man, Kirk. Detestable.
okay.
Yo, F the person who did this to Kirk, bro.
Well, guys, we do have news. Charlie Kirk, who we all know from TPUSA,
Yep.
was
The founder.
shot. Okay, he was shot at Utah Valley University. He's now in critical condition. I don't think I can show the video to you guys. Maybe we can drop in the moments before and maybe some moments after.
Charlie
where
Kirk.
You guys
He
can
has
sort of
the
see
MAGA
what took place
hats.
at this university. He was there speaking
The
on behalf
MAGA
of Turning
joints.
Point USA, doing his normal back and forth with college students like he usually does.
Yeah.
And he was shot in the neck and is now in
The jugular
condition,
vein.
currently in surgery at the
Yo,
time
so much
that
blood
I am
was
recording this.
pouring
So we'll,
out, bro.
of course,
It was
stay on this
nuts.
story. I am honestly so shocked. Taylor sent me this, and I could not believe my eyes. I could not believe what I was reading. I could not believe what I was seeing. And we know that things like this happen.
Unbelievable,
this one
bro.
really hits so close to home, and I'm sure it does for so many of you. I'm going to try to break down some of the information here, get into some responses from media outlets, from leftists, which have been insane.
Wokies.
And we're coming for MSNBC today. It's just unbelievable. So let's just sit with the news for a second. My thoughts are with Charlie Kirk and his family, his wife Erica, his two children.
16 months old. His daughter is 3, bro. Yeah, they won't grow. Bro, Charlie won't see their graduations, their accomplishments, their weddings, etc., bro. That is sad, bro. They will grow up with no blood father, bro. Yeah. Some shooter felt that it was okay to take him to take his life because he disagreed politically, bro. Yeah. Fragile, bro. Killing somebody for disagreeing with you is the worst form of fragileness, bro. Killing somebody for disagreeing with you politically is the worst form of fragileness.
News for a second. My thoughts are with Charlie Kirk.
This doesn't solve ish, bro.
Erica,
bro.
Children.
This doesn't solve anything.
Is to go out and have tough conversations, uncomfortable conversations. Charlie Kirk and his whole platform is to
a Republican debate legend.
His family, his wife Erica, his 2 children.
Left too early, bro.
See Charlie Kirk and his whole platform is to go out.
He should still be here today with us.
And we're coming for MSNBC today. It's just unbelievable. So let's just sit with the news for a second. My thoughts are with Charlie Kirk and his family, his wife Erica, his 2 children. You see Charlie Kirk and his whole platform is to go out and have
debates,
tough conversations,
tough but civil
conversations, to really reach across the aisle. And he's doing it typically with college students, a group of people.
Not just college
conversations
students,
are truly important.
but yes.
They're formative. And he spent so much of his time, so much hard work going out and trying to have these conversations with people who vehemently disagree with him, just to be shot like this.
Crazy.
And I hope that he makes it through this. I dearly, dearly hope that he makes it through this. So right now, that's all that we know, and that's all this Charlie Kirk assassination attempt. I'm thinking of the expected.
Yeah,
I'm going to turn to
they said
MSNBC,
Kirk got
who had,
assassinated,
this brilliant
not
guy on.
just
Let's
murdered,
roll the clip.
not just
He's
killed.
been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Okay. What did he say? Now the girl can. Girl. Wow. Hmm. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, how, what is, you don't know what the age is. Oh, no, nah, Bob, he isn't that. Nah, if she's elite, if she's wrong, he's not. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Man. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Doesn't make sense. Okay, Bob.
Speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then
What
lead
did
to
he
hateful
say that
actions.
was hateful though?
And I
What
think that's
did
the
he
environment
say
we're in,
that was
people just, you can't
hateful?
stop with these
You
sort
have
of
to have
awful
evidence
thoughts you have, and then
to
saying these awful
substantiate
words and
your
not
claims,
expect
bro.
awful actions to take place.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Listen to them talking about how you can't just start with these awful words and these awful thoughts and then not expect action. And then you hear
Yeah, that is crazy.
anthem.
He's justifying his death, bro.
People just, you can't
Because
stop with
Kirk
these sort of
said
awful
stuff he
thoughts you have, and
perceived
then
to
saying
be
these awful
hateful.
words and not
That
expect
doesn't
awful
warrant
actions to
death,
take
bro.
place.
Yeah.
Hateable
That's the
opinions
unfortunate environment we're in.
don't
Listen to
warrant
them talking
death.
about how you can't just
Regardless,
start with these awful
bro.
words and these awful thoughts and then not expect action. And then you hear that little end clip. Yeah, they just confirmed that he was shot in the neck in critical condition, and this is how you're talking about this individual. And
Sickening,
the awful thoughts are the awful
disgraceful,
thoughts in the room with us.
disreputable.
He shares thoughts of 50%
The people
of
who
this country. And now
say
you're
this nasty thing, ish pertaining to Kirk. Love, hate, or be indifferent. He did not deserve his death, bro.
Such a time of divisiveness and viciousness that we believe the people who support Charlie Kirk, people who support his thoughts and beliefs and his values,
views, his
deserve
stances.
to die? Are we okay? And we can't even get clarity from the news media as to what is exactly taken place. This is another clip from MSNBC where they say that, he could have possibly been shot by somebody who was shooting in celebration at the university, in which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea. But
that's your reputable news source, MSNBC. When they're not trying to come up with some excuse as to why somebody like Charlie Kirk would be shot in the neck and now in critical condition, they will justify it by saying you can't say awful words and have these awful thoughts without expecting action. And then
no empathy, bro.
Okay, they're going to push it to the Trump administration and talk about Charlie Kirk being shot and say, you know what, the Trump administration is going to use this as some sort of justification for an action moving forward.
Revenge.
After one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as a justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. The carjacking situation, he used that. And I know it's hard to...
We have to be fair, though. Trump might use this as justification to tyrannize people he disagrees with politically. It is possible, bro. It is possible. It is possible.
Federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. The
Hope
carjacking situation.
hope
he
this
used
doesn't
that.
happen. Hope he doesn't.
And
Hope he
I know it's
doesn't
hard to predict the future, Mark, but
violate
you can
or
imagine the administration
abuse
using
rights
this as a
or not
justification
abuse
for
rights, infringe on people's 1A rights.
Donald Trump used as a justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. The carjacking situation, he used that. And I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
I must admit, I'm at a loss to guess as to what happens next.
Yeah, as you should be. Because we should be at a loss to guess what happens next after somebody.
Trump can be petty. We have to be fair. And this is coming from a MAGA person.
Toe to toe with college students is getting shot in the neck. Yeah, we should not know what's happening. Conversations and going toe to toe with college students is getting shot in the neck. Yeah, we should not know what's happening next after that. You know what? If Donald Trump sees a bunch of carjackings happening in a city and goes, you know what, let's fix it. Thank you for that. If he sees crime going rampant through an entire community,
Crime-ridden cities,
begging for law and order, begging for
with criminality,
he takes care of it. Thank you very much. I don't know
if
what
he's not violating or transgressing the law to do it, it is laudable to get real rogues, real brutes, real miscreants off the streets. But if he's violating, it is not laudable. If he's violating, it is not laudable.
Law and order, begging for law enforcement to do something, and he takes care of it. Thank you very much. I don't know what you do when you have public figures like this, whose whole platform is having conversation, getting shot. Like, what is the response supposed to be to this? And I can't say that you don't see things like this coming. It's one of the reasons that I don't like to go out and do public speaking
debates,
or do
interviews
events like this, because you just never know how insane
it is
our
risky,
world has
perilous.
become. What's going to happen to you? We
Yeah.
are sharing our thoughts.
It shouldn't be like that, but that is the reality.
We are sharing our thoughts,
Crazy.
our beliefs. Charlie Kirk is somebody who's having discussions about politics, and yes, these are really uncomfortable
You have to be
conversations.
super
Yes, they may make
alert
somebody angry.
if you
Yes,
do.
you may vehemently disagree with him. But
If you
think
do
he deserves to
these
be dead
debates
or what he believes,
publicly,
I
you have
urge
to be
you
super
reevaluate
vigilant, protected,
what's going to happen to you.
aware
We are
of
sharing our thoughts,
what is
our beliefs.
going
Charlie Kirk is somebody
on.
who's
Yes.
having discussions about
Yes.
politics. And yes, these are really uncomfortable conversations. Yes, they may make somebody angry. Yes, you may be do public
Super
speaking
vigilant.
or do events like this, because you just never know with how insane our world has become what's going to happen to you. We are sharing our thoughts, our beliefs. Charlie Kirk is somebody who's having discussions about politics.
Openly.
And yes, these are really uncomfortable conversations. Yes, they may make somebody angry. Yes, you may vehemently disagree with him. But if you think that he deserves to be dead,
You
for
are-
what he believes,
you
I
are
urge you
crummy
to
if you
reevaluate.
celebrate
And if
this.
you don't think
If you
there are
think
people
this
responding in
is
this way, I'm going to read you some responses.
worthy of celebration, you are a cruddy
And if you don't think there are
and
people responding in this way, I'm going to read you some
scummy
responses
person.
from people
It is
who
what it is.
hate Charlie Kirk online, and I'm going to show you some videos of them talking.
Also, if you are calling for civil war, you are cruddy too. You are a goofball too. You got people on the left who celebrate Kirk's death, who don't care, who say rest in peace. Somebody said. One of the black people who opposed Kirk, he said he doesn't care. He said F his kids, F his wife. Yeah. No empathy, no humanity, bro. Yeah, it is, bro. It is a shame, bro. He's this man who said rest in peace is a devil, bro. Also the right wingers who say all leftist orcs should be shut down. This is civil war. All leftists are terrorists. Those right wing people are devilish too. They are devils too. They are true devils too. F y'all.
angry. Yes, you may vehemently disagree with him, but if you think that he deserves to be dead for what he believes, I urge you to reevaluate. And if you don't think there are people responding in this way, I'm going to read you some responses from people who really hate Charlie Kirk online, and I'm going to show you some videos of them talking about it. And they are cheering this on. They think this is one of the best days they ever had.
Love, hate, or be indifferent to Kirk. You don't have to agree with Kirk or be fond of Kirk, but celebrating his death makes you morally worse than Kirk. Not better. Not morally better. It makes you morally worse than Kirk. You have no room to say anybody is fecal, disgraceful, repellent, repulsive, condemnable, immoral, detestable. You have detestable, deplorable, odious, objectionable, garbage, rubbish, terrible, devilish. You have no room to say anybody is bereft of rectitude. You have no room. Yeah, y'all suck, bro. Y'all really do.
And they are cheering this on. They think this is one of the best days they ever had. Here's one that says, I wasn't going to drink today, but Charlie Kirk got... And they are cheering this on. They think this is one of the best days they ever had. Here's one that says, I wasn't going to drink today, but Charlie Kirk got iced. We're turning up. Here are some trans activists and some far-left extremists, according to AmbivertDevo, celebrating this. I wish the bullet that hit Charlie Kirk a very pleasant day. Oh wow, she did a good job.
Bozos.
Thoughts and prayers to the bullet's family. Finally, some good news out of my state, LMAO. Now let's watch a clip.
Terrible.
This is compiled by Libs of TikTok. These are
Yo,
left.
certain people who oppose Kirk, they said Joe Rogan should be killed next. J.K. Rowling should be offed next. Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Chaya from Lips of TikTok, they said these people I just named should lose their lives, bro. They should get killed, offed, murked, ended, wasted. Yeah, this is abhorrent-ish, bro. What certain people who oppose Kirk are saying, what certain people who oppose Kirk are saying. Kill J.K. Rowling, Matt Walsh. The people who say this, who call for the killings of these people are subhuman sacks of ish, bro. The people who call for the death, the people who call for the killings of Rowling, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, and certain other right-wing or non-woke or non-left people are subhuman sacks of ish, bro. Subhuman sacks of ish.
Out of my state, LMAO. Now let's watch a clip.
Credence.
TikTok. These are leftists celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination attempt.
F you. Evil, bro. Wicked.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
F you suck. Bozo.
And look at that. And I'm noticing something in this video. The age demographic of these individuals, they seem to be like maybe in their early 20s.
Gen Z.
Okay? These are all people that if Charlie Kirk had the opportunity, he would be spending all day sitting in the sun, talking to them about politics and trying to go back and forth with them to gain understanding of their perspective, but also to share his perspective with them.
Beliefs.
And here they are cheering on the fact that he's been shot in the neck.
Dead.
I'm dumbfounded by this. I may be rambling in this video.
Disgusting.
I just can't get my footing on this one. I saw the video. It
Callous.
shook me to my core. and to see
or meant
people
to say,
who are not
credence
shaken
meant
by
to
this,
say.
even further than that, unaffected by it,
The people
even
who
further than
celebrate
that,
the callous
celebrating
killing
it, saying that this
of
is a
Kirk,
wonderful,
the heinous, the
not
grievous,
shaken by this, even further than that, unaffected by it, even further. Saw the video, it shook
the
me to my
savage
core.
murder,
To see people
assassination of
who are
Kirk.
not shaken by this, even further than that, unaffected by it, even further than that, celebrating it. And saying that
Happy,
this is a
gleeful,
wonderful
joyous.
thing.
The
I don't
people
know
who are
a
joyous
single political figure
have no
that I could think
humanity,
of
bro.
that I could watch a video
They
like
have
that
no
happen to, no
soul.
matter
They
how
have
much I
no
disagree
heart.
with them,
They have
and share
no
it all
mercy,
and
remorse,
celebrate.
penitence,
Single political figure
contrition,
that I could think of that I could watch a video like
humaneness,
that happen to, no matter how much I disagree with them,
civility.
and
They
share it
have
all and
no.
celebrate them literally being shot in the neck.
They are
We're gonna watch another
bereft
video about
of
this.
humanity
Celebrating
all the
that
way.
Charlie Kirk was shot.
Breaking news, Charlie Kirk was in the neck. As of right now, I think his condition is unknown. There are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to
Yes,
I,
common
on the
sense
other hand,
based.
do
The people who say political violence, all of it is hateable, bro. Odious, terrible, uncondonable, inexcusable, inexcusable. The people who say that, the people who say this are rational people, bro. Bro, they are moral people, righteous people, unlike you.
Watch another video of a leftist celebrating the breaking news that Charlie Kirk was shot.
breaking news, Charlie Kirk was in the neck. As of right now, I think his condition is unknown. There are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people. So on behalf of everybody else, I got this shit. I don't know if he's gonna make a recovery or not. I don't know what his condition is. It like just happened as I'm filming this. I saw the video of it happening. I do not feel bad for him in the slightest, and I'm very, very much wondering what
Bad
MAGA
karma
is going
will
to
hit
react
you,
with.
bro.
I wonder how they're going
You
to
will
make
get
this about how
bad
black people shouldn't be
karma,
allowed
bro.
gun, or trans people. They're probably gonna blame a trans black person. I don't fuck. But we can all celebrate because some.
She's bugging.
I wonder how they're going to make this about how black people shouldn't be allowed guns, or trans people. They're probably gonna blame a trans black person. I don't fuck. But we can all celebrate because
Certain
something
people, but
really
not
awful
all
happened to a
MAGA people or Republicans. There are MAGA people who want trans people to be banned from having guns, bro. That is crazy. That is tyrannical, despotic, domineering, controlling, insensible, unsagacious-ish, bro. Insensible and unsagacious-ish, bro. Insensible, harebrained, and unsagacious-ish. The trans group is not a monolith, bro. You have good trans people, bro. You really do. You have moral, sensible, rational, reasonable, and righteous trans people. You have law-abiding trans people. You do have trans people who abide by the law, bro, who don't transgress. You have people in the trans group who are law-abiding. If you say otherwise, bro, if you say otherwise, you are goofy, bro. If you say otherwise, you are goofy. How is banning all trans people from having firearms MAGA? Make it make sense, yo. Y'all, yeah, it is stupid. It is also hypocritical, bro, to say they all should be banned. These people, certain rightists, they sound like far leftists, bro. They really do sound like far leftists. They they wish to censor people they don't agree with, to ban people from having certain things. It is weak.
I don't know if he's gonna make a
But
recovery or not. I don't
but
know
this
what his
lady,
condition
she's
is. It like
a
just
goofball,
happened
bro.
as I'm filming this. I saw the video of it happening. I do not feel bad for him in the slightest, and I'm very,
She's no better
very much wondering
than those people who
what
want
MAGA
all
is
trans
going to
people
react to.
banned from
I wonder
having
how they're
guns.
going to make this about how black people
She's
shouldn't
worse.
be allowed guns, or trans people. They're probably gonna blame a trans black person. I don't fuck. But we can all celebrate
Super
because
woke.
something really awful
Wokeism
happened to
is a
really,
social
really awful
disease,
guy.
bro. It
And again,
needs
if you're one of
to
those
cease
dipshit
soon.
people that are like, no matter what happens, you should. Really awful happened to a really, really awful guy. And trans people, they're probably gonna blame a trans black person. I don't fuck. But we can all celebrate because something really awful happened to a really, really awful guy. And again, if you're one of those dipshit people that are like, no matter what happens, you should never wish death on some. I'm gonna cheer
This
and dance.
manipulation, bro. This deceit, trickery.
I'm gonna cheer and dance and sing.
So many
To
times.
call people dip, shits, because they have logic, they have a soul, they have rationality, bro. They have empathy, real empathy, bro. Just because they have these things, they're, bro. Just because they have logic, they're dipshits, bro. Yeah, bro. This lady, she's a clown, bro. A villain. A POS, bro. A POS. Rubbish.
No matter what happens, you should never wish death on some. I'm gonna cheer and dance and sing.
So many times stories will pop up in this world.
She will receive her karma, bro. She will receive her karma.
We're completely devoid of humanity and our attachment to humanity. Need I remind you guys, we're completely devoid of humanity.
Yep.
So many times stories will pop up in this world, and I'm like, wow, we've lost our humanity. And I'm just reminded that at least some of us have we're completely devoid of humanity and our attachment to humanity.
Cooked.
Need I remind you guys, we are human beings. Everybody's
Yes.
a human being. Doesn't
Before,
matter if you disagree with that.
Yes, human before political party, race, religion. Human first. We are humans first. We are humans first. F what party you belong to, what race you belong to, what race you belong to, what religion you belong to. F what party, race, religion, gender, etc. you belong to. F what race, religion, party, etc. you belong to. F what race, religion, party, etc. you belong to.
Human being on fundamentally, beings. Everybody's a human being. Doesn't matter if you disagree with that human being on fundamentally, beings. Everybody's a human being. Doesn't matter if you disagree with that human being on fundamentally, every single issue that exists. We are human beings, okay? Unless somebody is actually trying to
abuse you or violate you,
and physically harm you.
Yeah.
This
isn't
necessary.
the
This is
solution,
not it.
bro.
We've lost
This isn't the prudent move to do, to kill people.
life and physically harm you. This is not
Unless
necessary.
they are
This is not it. We've lost the entire
if
block.
they're not
Somebody who just
trying to abuse or violate you, you don't have the right to harm somebody, bro. You just don't. You just do not have the you just don't have the right to harm somebody, bro. Period.
that he says we are human beings, okay? okay? Unless somebody is actually trying to like physically encroach on your space and ruin your life and physically harm you, this is not necessary. This is not it. We've lost the entire plot. And
Yes,
somebody who disagrees
agreed.
is not a target for death or an assassination.
We concur.
It's just not the way this goes. And it really reminds you and brings you back to the situation that we're in as a society when you see people respond to it in this way.
Evil,
even think
vile,
people are just
repellent.
completely desensitized to the
Yeah.
news in itself. Just like,
It
oh
is
yeah,
crazy.
another person got
It is
shot, another
trash.
person experienced
It is goofy.
an
It is
assassination
corny.
attempt. This
It is
man is a married man with a family,
abominable.
with a community,
Abominable.
with an
It is
organization
truly
that he's built,
abominable.
through his own hard work, his own blood,
Yep.
sweat, and
His
tears.
sedulousness.
And to be shot trying to have conversation is just so wild.
Yes.
It's so wild. And
Wicked.
how people cannot connect with this, despite the political disagreement, it doesn't baffle me, but it baffles me, And we saw it with the United Healthcare CEO. We saw it with the Titanic submersible.
Yeah.
And, other stories
The
like
billionaires
that. We tend to draw this line.
who passed away in the submersible. The billionaires who passed away in the submersible.
It baffles me, And we saw it with the United Healthcare CEO.
In Manhattan.
We saw it with the Titanic submersible.
Yeah.
And, other stories
The
like that.
Manhattan, the killing of Brian Thompson by Luigi Mangione in Manhattan. He did this in Manhattan, New York.
We tend to draw this line in the sand where if somebody baffles me, And we saw it with the United Healthcare CEO. We saw it with the Titanic submersible and, other stories like that. We tend to draw this line in the sand where
The attempted killing of Kamala Harris in AZ. Was it Tempe? Tempe? It was one of the cities in AZ. Refresh my memory down below, please. But I do remember it happened in AZ. Somebody tried to kill Kamala, bro. Somebody tried to kill Kamala. Somebody tried to kill Kamala, bro. Thankfully, she wasn't there. Nobody was present in the campaign office last year, bro. Nobody was there. Nobody was present in the campaign office of Kamala's in AZ. But the window, he shot the shooter, the person who shot, he shot through the windows. He shattered the windows, bro. Or window. He had evil intentions. He really did have evil intentions. He really did. He really had evil intentions. This Kirk, this villain, really had evil intentions. This man is no fan of Kamala's. He doesn't agree politically with Kamala. It is irrelevant, bro. What the shooter, what the person who shot the window did was hateable, odious, and evil. What the shooter tried to do, what he tried to commit, it is really abhorrent. Glad Kamala is still here, still living, still breathing. That is a good thing. That is a good thing. Yes.
Baffles me, And we saw it with the United Healthcare CEO. We saw it with the Titanic submersible and, other stories like that. We tend to draw this line in the sand where if somebody is on the other end of it, we no longer care about what happens in their life. We're not impacted by it. And even more
Bias,
than that, we celebrate
partiality,
bad
bias,
things taking place
partiality,
in their lives. And that's what's happening right now.
partialness.
Again, my thoughts are with Charlie Kirk. I'll try to keep you guys updated on the get past these political disagreements. In our country, it's not even simmering anymore. It's boiling. And if we can't learn to get past these political
Peacefully
disagreements,
disagree.
I don't
Civilly
know.
disagree.
I don't know what the future looks like. I mean, we're going to continue to have the
A
conversation.
scary
Charlie Kirk
future.
is,
A
you know,
dark
if I have any
future.
prediction here, he makes
A
it out of this, he's going to continue to have conversations too, and that's
really scary future, bro. A really scary future.
You know, continues to fight and keep up and work hard, and I think he'll do the same on the other end of this, and I hope there is something on the other end of this for him. And I don't want to put the shooter in this. At least we don't have an identification of the shooter just yet. That's the
Now we do. They had somebody or they Patel said there was a person of interest. He got is that the same person? Is the person was that person different from the person they have? They said they got the guy who did the shooting. He's 22. He's a white dude. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, black conservative. Yeah, Greg Foreman from BCP. He made a video. Yeah, they have the person.
Too many.
Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit.
Charlie
Do you know
Kirk.
how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence, and people have obviously pointed to the irony.
Right after he got shot in his jugular vein, bro. Ugly, savage, brutal, merciless. Yeah. Yeah, that was precise. The one shot, accurate. This dude, he has to be. Yeah. My belief is that he is a trained shooter, bro. He's trained, a trained shooter. He yeah. This was a professional hit job, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been?
Because the shot was really precise, bro. It was really accurate, really precise. It was really precise. So, yeah, crazy.
And people obviously pointed to the irony that the point that I was trying to make is how people.
Alright guys, so we got to talk about some bombshell footage that has been leaked to the public by TMZ of the alleged person of interest, the assassin of Charlie Kirk, right? And the person that the FBI believed.
No, I gotta go to a different. They do have the real person. Let me see.
But as we await that, CB Cotton's working her story. Her sources on the ground there
Bozo.
on the story as well. She
Cornball.
is also live on the
Fecal.
campus there, Orem, Utah. And CB, what do you have for us? Hello there.
Hey, Bill, good morning. So as we just heard from colleague David Sputt, the suspect has now been identified as Tyler Robinson, and we are hoping to learn more about who this person is at this news conference. But we heard this morning President Trump seemed to suggest that a person close to Tyler turned him in.
Yeah,
What
they
I'm
said
hearing from one
his
federal
father.
source, I just got a note
Yeah,
from
this dude, he confessed to his father that he shot to death Charlie Kirk. His father told him to turn himself in. He turned himself, or meant to say, yeah, the father told him to turn himself in. He got he was later got by the authorities for yes, words.
President Trump seemed to suggest that a person close to
He
Tyler
should
turned him in.
he should
What I'm
serve
hearing from
life,
one
bro.
federal source I just got a note from is that
He's
this suspect's father turned him in last night in southern Utah.
he is a devil,
And
bro.
all of these moving parts
A devil.
come as the FBI
A
made
savage.
a huge push yesterday for more information, asking the public, come forward
Life
if you recognize
in prison,
this
bro.
person. And after that big push from the FBI, you know, it seemed like they
You must, yo. He needs to serve life, bro. He must suffer for what he did, bro. A harsh sentence. He must serve a harsh but fair sentence. He must suffer for what he did. Yeah. What he did was super scummy, bro. Depraved, evil, wicked, immoral, wicked. All of these words. F you.
things were moving here on the ground. We had a news conference that got pushed back several times yesterday. We also heard the president explain again how the timeline of this. He said a minister here in Utah who was friends with a U.S. Marshal got involved, and at that point, the father was contacted. And again, I'm hearing from a federal source that it was Tyler Robinson's father who turned in his son.
Yeah.
We saw that new video yesterday, chilling, showing the gunman moving quickly across the roof and then dropping one story down before running through the parking lot.
Wow.
And we also learned from the FBI that the shooter...
They said he was able to blend in with the crowds because he, because he looked like a college, he did look like a student. Yeah.
Dropping one story down before running through the parking lot. And we also learned from the FBI that the shooter then discarded the gun in a wooded area. We also got those newly released surveillance pictures of the shooter, giving us an up-close look at the shooter's face and the clothing he was wearing. And now the major development today is waiting to hear more and learn more about who Tyler Robinson is, what's his background, and, you know, what was the planning that he
It is good that this bozo got
Charlie Kirk, who was speaking to a crowd
got by the police.
So I want to send it back over to you.
Thank you, Steve.
It is good that he was turned in by his father, bro. It is good. It is great. Not good. It is great.
Charlie Kirk, who was speaking to a crowd of about 3,000 supporters here on this campus. The planning that he presumably did
crowd,
to take
3K.
that fatal shot towards Charlie
3K
Kirk,
people.
who was speaking to a crowd of
3K
about
people.
3,000 supporters here on this campus. What was the planning that he presumably did to Tyler Robinson is? What's his background? And, you know, what was the planning that he presumably did to take that fatal shot towards Charlie Kirk, who was speaking
They
to a
said
crowd
he
of
had
about 3,000 supporters
stuff
here
written
this
on the
campus.
bullet
So I
casings.
wanna send it back over to you.
One of
Thank
the
you, Stevie.
things
Stand by for
was,
more.
"Hey, fascist, catch." Yo, crazy, crazy, bro, crazy. Yeah, yeah. We don't know the reason he labeled Kirk a fascist, but that label is unjust because Kirk never called for people to lose their rights or call for people of color or gay people or lesbian people or uh, or non-Christians to lose their rights in America. So yeah, what makes him a fascist? Yeah, this is really crazy.
Tyler Robinson is? What's his background? And, what was the planning that he presumably did to take that fatal shot towards Charlie Kirk, who was speaking to a crowd of about 3,000 supporters here on this campus? Bill, I want to send it back over to you.
Thank you, CB. Stand by for more from you and others there in Utah. CB copy.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And this. Bill, I want to send it back over to you.
Thank you, CB. Stand by for more from you and others there in Utah. CB.
He was speaking to a crowd of about 3,000 supporters here on this campus. Bill, I want to send it back over to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not agree with Kirk when he on a with a lot of what Kirk said pertaining to Israel Gaza. I did not agree with a lot of things he said pertaining to that or to the Muslim community in America or Mamdani, even though I don't agree with Mamdani politically or even though I'm not a fan of Mamdani as a human, yeah, I always come with fairness, bro. Give credit where credit is due. But yeah, Kirk, even though I disagreed with certain things, his death was not warranted.